Who is that? A lot of people don't know. I have trouble sometimes recalling his name. This is the guy who shot Trump, Thomas Matthew Crooks. There he is on the roof of that building with his weapon, taking aim, thankfully missing. Now, we've heard a lot, not much about him. You have heard that no social media presence, right? No, he was like a social media ghost. Actually, no. New reporting indicates that he had all kinds of social media accounts, that he was active and busy all over the place. And the FBI has all this stuff, but they won't share it with us. However, they will lie about it. This is a very senior person at the FBI. I hope he's been fired. Abate is his name. He went before Congress last year and did the Biden administration's bidding, right? They all wanted to move on and, if anything, pull a Jimmy Kimmel, try to make it look like this was a MAGA job to take President Trump out. Listen to this guy, because he is being misleading.
Something just very recently uncovered that I want to share is a social media account which is believed to be associated with the shooter in about the 2019-2020 timeframe. There were over 700 comments posted from this account. Some of these comments, if ultimately attributable to the shooter, appear to reflect anti-Semitic and anti-immigration themes, to espouse political violence, and are described as extreme in nature.
What did he say? Anti-immigrant, anti-Semitic. Some of these comments appear to reflect anti-Semitic and anti-immigration themes to espouse political violence. That's the Deputy FBI Director. Now, that is swamp code and fake news code for MAGA. That's how they see MAGA. That was a message, a dog whistle, whatever you want to call it. MAGA did this. This guy is no better than Jimmy Kimmel, because they had evidence at that time that this guy was a left-wing maniac by the time he opened fire on Trump and espoused Antifa-like.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
To what happened. When he arrived, he discovered a disturbing fact. The FBI released Crooks's body for cremation 10 days after July 13th. This wasn't known to the public until Higgins arrived in Butler on August 5th, when the coroner told the congressman, quote, he would never have released Crooks's body to the family for cremation or burial without specific permission from the FBI. The timing of Crooks's cremation is notable. The day Crooks's body was burned was also the day the House Homeland Security and Oversight Committees had begun their investigations into the shooting. The fact the body was cremated made it impossible for investigators outside the FBI to verify the coroner and autopsy report. You can't do a new tox screen because the body doesn't exist. According to Higgins, quote, this action by the FBI can only be described by any reasonable man as an obstruction to any following investigative effort. Another notable detail is that photos from the day after the shooting show an FBI agent hosing down the site where Crooks died. High-level intelligence officials and congressional sources told us this is very strange. That the FBI usually hires out crime scene cleanup to third-party contractors. But in this case, they did it themselves, leaving no blood and no tissue for anyone else to analyze. In the photo, the agent's shirt says he's from the Technical Hazards Response Unit, a unit that collects traditional forensic evidence contaminated with hazardous materials. After the shooting, the FBI sent Crooks's phone to the Bureau's laboratory at Quantico, Virginia. Agents there were able to open it in less than 40 minutes using technology from an Israeli tech firm called Celebrate. According to the Post, FBI officials who served under President Joe Biden accessed Crooks's phone, computer, and his encrypted messaging apps in Belgium, New Zealand, and Germany. Yet none of the online activity the FBI has discovered was referred to in any way in the final congressional report that was released in December of 2024.
By the way, why do we still know nothing about that guy in Butler? What's going on?
That That was a good question, a question that most people thought would be answered by the new administration. Within weeks of retaking office, Donald Trump told the New York Post's Miranda Devine that he had, quote, ordered the Secret Service on Friday to provide him every bit of information about his two would-be assassins.
You've had 2 assassination attempts. One, obviously, where you got hit by that bullet in Butler. There's a lot of frustration that we still don't know about that shooter in Butler. And we don't know about his communications. We get stonewalled all the time asking questions about it. Is there frustration on your part? Will we get transparency? Will we know the bottom line story?
It's very interesting because we have great people. I think Pam is incredible. I think Cash is incredible. And they're doing a great job. They're being recognized as doing a great job.
But you're the president. Can't you find out?
No, I know. I'm relying on my people to tell me what it is.
But his people insist there's nothing there, and they don't seem interested in finding out more.
How come we don't have more information on the assassination attempts on President Trump?
There's 2 reasons. 2 open, ongoing prosecutions. But we have personally invested our time in making sure that we have looked at any possible international connections to terrorism and adversaries alike. And we've both been down to Quantico. We've both done the laboratory testing. We've both seen the explosives analysis. We've both seen the firearm and physically held it. We are all in on these investigations.
Are we going to be surprised at what you learned?
You know what, Maria? Cash is not kidding. We've been personally briefed extensively on every single detail, nugget, tendril of this case. One is actively in court right now, so out of respect for the case, it's probably more appropriate that I stay quiet on that. However, I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth, and whether you like it or not is up to you. If there was a big explosive there, right? Given my history as a Secret Service agent and my personal friendship as a director does with the president, give me one logical, sensible reason we would not have. If you can think of one, there isn't. There, in some of these cases, the there you're looking for is not there.
What a baffling thing to say. Thomas Crooks is dead, of course. There was no trial against Thomas Crooks. And by the way, they weren't misspeaking. This wasn't an accident. We know that because the director of the FBI said the same thing once again under oath in front of Congress in September.
When your predecessor sat right there in that seat a couple years, last year in a committee hearing, I asked him a very detailed question about Matthew Thomas Crooks, the shooter responsible for the assassination attempt on President Trump's life. I did get an answer from Chris Wray that day, and I submitted written questions to the FBI and into the record of this committee. And I want to resubmit those questions today because I think we are still awaiting answers to those questions. So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to submit them for the record, please. I'd like to ask you, sir, and the FBI, under your leadership, would you please respond to these questions, and can you commit to doing that?
As soon as the trial's over.
But if it's true that there's nothing here, then the FBI has a very strange way of showing it. In July of 2024, a bipartisan group of senators, led by Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, sent a letter, quote, requesting records related to the July 13th, 2024 assassination attempt. Fully a year later, the FBI still had not responded. What is this about? This summer, Senator Johnson issued a new subpoena, noting that, quote, nearly a year after the assassination attempt and the initiation of the subcommittee's investigation, the FBI has repeatedly failed to produce the subcommittee records and information critical to its investigation. In the subpoena, they demanded pictures and images related to the assassination, video footage, forensic reports, records related to FBI interviews, and notably, all records referring or relating to any of Thomas Crooks' electronic devices, digital or financial accounts, or online search history.
What are you telling us?
I am totally unsatisfied. I am totally unsatisfied. You had a person with a modern rifle, modern scoped rifle at 130 yards who shot at the former commander-in-chief of the United States and a guy who was going to be, by all accounts at that point, the future commander-in-chief. And then they tried to kill my father 8 weeks later, at his golf course in Palm Beach County, a golf course that I run every single day. I am totally unsatisfied that we have one picture of that shooter. The guy looks like he was 14 years old in the picture. We know nothing about him. We know nothing about him. Right, and I am totally unsatisfied with the result, and I think a lot of America is unsatisfied with the result, and I think we better get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
Are you telling me there's a conspiracy here that you believe that Eric Trump believes resulted in the assassination attempt?
Yes, I think they tried to kill my father because they did not want his voice on that stage.
Woo! Boy, oh boy, oh boy, what's going on, family? I hope y'all have had an amazing weekend, starting off a new week. I hope everybody that's tuned in right now or that has watched today's show is blessed, well, and healthy. And we told y'all we would be jumping into this, just doing a little deep dive, And again, everybody's been talking about it. It's broke the internet recently, and a lot of people smell a lot of fish in the air. People, think it's this, it's that. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. A lot of people say it's cover up, another scandal. Huge corruptions. People want answers. People want full transparency. And they say they smell something in the air. And they keep posting this picture all over the internet. And we just seen, Elon Musk and Rogan, they went viral for that that podcast they had of pointing out the insane inconsistencies with everything in the assassination attempt on President Trump. But then we had Tucker Carlson, announce he was releasing evidence proving the FBI is lying about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. And that's what we just showed just now. That has broke the internet. Everybody's posting it. And I want you guys to weigh in with your thoughts. And there's been so many conspiracy theories. So many things take place, And even with there's a lot of conspiracy theories now with the Charlie Kirk and saying there's no way a person acted alone. Multiple people have been involved. People say it's just. I will read some of these comments right here. I don't believe he acted alone either. I believe the Charlie Kirk assassination acted alone either. I don't believe Thomas Crooks acted alone. It makes me very suspicious of the FBI. Total setup. Don't tell me a 20-year-old outsmarted the Secret Service. What? Absurd. It's very scary and nothing will be done. They are trying to cover up their own tracks. I think the delay to locate him and take him out by Secret Service snipers was disturbing. And y'all know we said that when we first learned that information and everything. Everything we've learned, man, and from the previous shows we've had, has been But someone says, I cannot believe my eyes. The day we watched a miracle that day. And yes, indeed, man. Thank God President Trump is still here. We was this close, y'all. Again, we really hate that a lot of things have taken place in this country. We hate, the insane rhetoric, the Nazi, fascist, dictator threat to democracy, unconstitutional, unpresidential, our democracy is under attack. Democracy. The man's he's the boogeyman. We're all a bunch of garbage Nazis. I mean, it's a disgrace, man. But it doesn't stop with the left. It doesn't stop with the Democrat Party and these deranged lunatics. And this is why so many people are mad that you see the Marjorie Taylor Greene going up on, the fake news media and apologizing. Again, let me know how you feel about that. Again, people feel this way, people feel that way. But they're now saying she's turned into a Democrat, that she's a rhino, and many others, that are now, they say they're joining the Democrat side. Again, they're saying MAGA is dead, that Trump has had the worst week of his presidency this past week, And again, a lot of things have happened, and this is all revolving around the Epstein. And we see how that is backfired and how it's just been complete ignorance from the left, the Democrat Party, and people getting up live on television and saying the worst things and claims that they can't back up. In which there should be tons of defamation lawsuits. People ought to be bankrupt out of their shoes, for real. Getting up live on television and saying something you can't back up. That's the same reason why we're in a lot of mess, to begin with. But people say it's another government cover-up, sick and tired of it. Someone says, I'm a liberal Democrat and I couldn't agree more. This is a complete cover-up. Yeah. It says, you remember the BlackRock ad? Was Biden and Democrats alleged behind this? They're more worried about Epstein than attempted assassination trip of Trump. Boy, I don't believe that he acted alone either. Only the truth will tell it. It will set you free. Boy. Seriously, there has been intelligence to give America answers, and many heads must roll. But again, y'all, it just doesn't stop. And many conspiracy theories will still come and roll out. And again, will we know everything? But no, after 1 year, there's still things floating. But the Trump assassination attempt conspiracy theorists have resurfaced all over the internet after 1 year. And again, people are posting all kind of things. And Tucker Carlson has broke the internet. So we'll see where this goes, man. We will see where this goes. I love you guys. Again, man, we are praying for everything to play out how it's supposed to play out, man. Praying for accountability, affordability, common sense, peace through strength, the America First agenda. Praying for President Trump and this administration. You know, I want to send my love and prayers to you guys. You never know what somebody's going through, especially in these times that we're living in. You know, and I encourage y'all to spread love, man. God is love. Spread that love to one another, even if it's a stranger. If you have an opportunity to be a blessing to somebody, take that opportunity, man. You know? But I love y'all, and I will catch y'all on today's show. Peace and love, you guys.